So again, thank you for joining. This evening's first project is I thought we'd start off with something cute and simple. So we've got a set of Incolor birthday note cards. Of course, these note cards could be catered to any occasion. If you didn't want birthdays, there are plenty of sentiments within the Stampin' Up catalogue that mean that you could switch these out. They don't even have to be in colours, but I thought tonight I would show those off as, with it being a simple stamping project, buying some white card and the 5 set of inks and a single stamp set is a nice easy way to get someone into the crafting world. So I'm going to show you how to make these. Now these are 3x3 in total, 5 of them, and tomorrow evening you'll see me make a box for these as well, for them to go in with their associated envelopes. So as a quick intro to the colours, we've got cinnamon cider, which reminds me a bit of a ginger biscuit. We've got misty moonlight. We've got just jade, which may be my new favourite green after pretty peacock. Bumblebee, which speaks for itself, and for somebody who despises pink, magenta madness is possibly one of my favourite Stampin' Up colours at the moment. So those are the 5. Let's get showing you how I did my note cards. So we've got 5 pieces, and I've gone for the thick Whisper White cardstock here, and these measure 6 by 3, and we're going to score those at 3 inches so that they'll be perfectly in half to make those note card bases. So I'll just grab my scoring tool, which is a bit glittery as I've been working with glimmer this week, and I've got my scoring tool to go with it. So putting them on the long side, we're just going to find that 3 inch mark and we're going to score each one of these. So these, when in half, will create those gorgeous little note cards. And one of the great things about the Stampin' Up catalogue is that they sell envelopes perfect for note cards of this size, so nobody has to go and make them. They're already there, and I've got some already here to show you. So these are the cute little note card envelopes. So if I get one of those cards made previously, you'll see that they fit inside perfectly, and I didn't have to make them. Like sometimes with the smaller sized cards you find you may have to go make them, or if you make a larger card that's something that's not so standard, you find that you have to make the envelope for that as well. This takes that time away from you. So fold each of these in half, and we're going to use our bone folder to burnish those lines. Give them a nice crease, like so. And do all 5 of these. And the idea for the decoration on these cards isn't actually one of my own. I haven't cased off another crafter, I've cased off my daughter, who saw me make the note card bases and then saw me looking at them going, now what? And she saw me a couple of weeks ago sponging a background that we did for, it was a winter card we did at the time. So we've got our sponges out again, and we're going to do the sponge background. So as you'll see here, if I bring this up a bit closer, this is just a sponged circle. I should say it's a daubed circle, and where we've gone crazy in circles, and then our sentiments put on the top of it. No, it's as simple as that. So we're going to start with Bumblebee. So got my Bumblebee ink, and it's as simple as just dipping it into that ink there, making sure you inked well up, and then because we're popping our sentiment in the middle, I always start in the middle. Then if you get a bunch up of ink, it doesn't matter because your sentiment's going to cover it. So from the middle there, and literally, and this is a quote from Friends, go in concentric circles, and that's it. I just blend out from there. And then I don't like to go too close to the edge, because if you rub up the edge you get a bit of a line. So I'm just going to apply a second bit like so, and I'm going to leave it at that. Good evening, Julie, how are you? Hope you're okay this evening. I'm going to pop Bumblebee away now, temporarily. We'll need it again soon for our sentiments. Pop that one out of the way. Got Misty Moonlight next, and again the same. So I've got Dauber that I've used previously for my blue shades. Dab that up and ink it, and again from the middle, and out you go. And I love the way that you get like like when the moon's in the sky and you can see it glowing around the edges, you get a bit of that with it. So that's our blue one. We'll pop that ink away as well. Next up is Just Jade. I'm good as well, thank you, Julie. I'm in the second week of 2 weeks annual leave, so I'm not looking forward to the end of this week when unfortunately it ends and I have to go back to work. So I'm using a sponge for green, and that's just because I couldn't find my green Dauber. But it's the same again, just start from the middle and sponge out. This will make a lovely noise as you do it though. And as you see, it just gives it the same effect. It's just you have to probably apply it on a few more times than with a Dauber. But again, there's the third one. So fourth one will be Cinnamon Cider. Got pink ink on me, I can see it. There must have been something on the side of my Dauber. So what have I said? Cinnamon Cider next, so that's this one. And be prepared to get inky. That's just while I've been on camera with you guys. Cinnamon Cider from the middle. Again, simple as that. And that means our last one will be Magenta Madness. So good old magenta. See that one? Yep. And again from the middle. Trying not to get my finger in the way there. And there we are. We've got our 5 backgrounds already on there to go. And the next part is the simple bit. This is just a sentiment now, so I'm just going to pop those out of the way so I don't get them covered in more ink like me. And so the sentiment, we are using a stamp set called Boho Indigo. So this is part of a product medley suite, and I absolutely love the contents of it. I'm reaching refill time as I've used so much of it. But the sentiment we're using is this one up here, A Bunch of Birthday Love to You. As you can see, my stamps have been, especially the sentiments, been fair used. So I'll pop that on a block, and I've got a B block here. I'm just going to use my grid paper to line it up. that way would be better. Put my block. And then I have got 5 pieces of Whisper White, and these 5 measure 1 3/4 by 1 1/4, and these are cut ready to fit that sentiment on. And all I'm going to do is go through the colours again and stamp one of each. So a cinnamon cider, I'll move it down here a bit so I don't put my head in the camera. Now if you're not confident enough to stamp straight down onto the card like I have, you could stamp them first and then cut them after. Because I'm swapping colours, I've got my, yes, it's brand new, I've got my chamois here just to take the colour off there. Lovely. And we'll flip to another one. So I've got Just Jade. And again, just using that grid paper just to make sure we're all lined up, and I'm just going to stamp down here just to make sure I have cleaned it properly first. And then down, like so. And again, on the chamois. This is a Simply chamois, and it's just slightly damp so that it can get the ink off the stamp for me, which as you can see it has done beautifully. Bumblebees next. And again, grid paper, and all I'm using is, at the bottom here there's a word, 2 words that says to you, and I'm lining them up at the bottom, just making sure they're straight, because if they're straight the rest of it's straight. There we go. And again on the chamois. Has anybody noticed that it's getting darker sooner now? It's kind of like summer has slipped away from us. Or does anyone else like the cosy months just like I do? I love Halloween and bonfire night, and then of course Christmas. But I feel this year we've just not had a summer. I don't know if that's just because of lockdown perhaps. Yeah, I just don't feel we got our summer this year. So Misty Moonlight, done. And again on the chamois. And then the final one, which will be Magenta. And there we go. Get this lined up and we'll get stamping. So that's the 5 sentiments already. I'm just going to pop that away. Give it, now it's had a clean. Pop this out of the way before I stick my elbow in it. And then the final thing I'm going to do to these is grab their daubers again, and I'm just going to give them a bit of a sponge around the edges. When I first did this, I put the sentiments on plain, just as they were, and I felt that the white was a bit too harsh of a line. So I got a bit of old sponging in there. I haven't done sponging for a long time. I used to do it on everything. I used to sponge practically everything in sight. I think there was a phase where everybody sponged everything. And I've got enough ink on the daubers that I don't need to open my ink pad again. So I'll just quickly do these. I think it's one of the daubers that's got ink on it. So Bumblebee. And then get my sponge back for around the Just Jade. And there we go, they're ready to be put on their cards. So I'm just going to bring those bases back in and my dimensionals. So I've got enough dimensionals on this sheet. I'm going to flip these over and put them the right way, that'd help. And we're going to put 2 on the back of each. I love dimensionals. I could stick everything with dimensionals, really could. They're the one type of adhesive that doesn't really fall out with you. Sometimes I fall out with tape runners and Tombow when they don't behave, but dimensionals are nice to you. Apart from the backings just terrorise you, they get everywhere. I think I'll find backings in this house well after I've moved out of here. Right, so on each base, I'm just lining the base, the spine of the card up with my grid so that I can make sure I'm getting the sentiment on straight. But then all I'm doing is eyeballing this gap around the edge just to make sure I get in the middle, and then down it goes. I'll do that on each one. So, Misty Moonlight. Pop those off. And again, using the grid paper and eyeball that. Down they go. Just Jade. Fighting with the backings. But, same again here. Cinnamon side. I wish I had my so when before lockdown I had acrylics extensions on and I loved them for things like this. They got dimensional backs off with ease, tear and tape strip with ease, and I'm missing them a little bit. Of course, like many others, my nails had to be sacrificed during lockdown. They're the one thing I can't do myself. I can dye my hair, I can, if I need to, I could give it a bit of a chop, which I didn't need to, thankfully. But I can't do my own, I can paint my nails, but I can't do extensions on myself. Okay, so there's the 5 cards. The one final touch is, I don't have many left, but these are the 2020 to 2022 Incolor dots, and they're just little epoxy domed dots with the colour underneath. They're self-adhesive, so once you take them off the sheet they will stick straight down onto wherever you pop them. So I'm just going to pop one of each colour in the corner of the corresponding card, just to give that a little pop of something. And the final one is there. And there we are, we've got 5 gorgeous little note cards ready to send. We've made them in practically no time at all. We've only been on this video for 25 minutes, and I'd say a good few minutes of that was when I was going through things at the beginning. So they're what we've made this evening. Tomorrow we shall make a matching box to go with them. This will house all 5 and the envelopes to go with, and as you can see I've decorated the front in exactly the same way. This one is Magenta Madness, but tomorrow we'll be doing a different colour, and then I'll show you how to pop it together and how these 5 go inside. So just as a quick reminder to that giveaway at the beginning, there will be a post that goes live later this evening on my blog. Any comment on that post and on any of the birthday party live posts, any comment will get one entry into the giveaway. Any comments on my YouTube videos or on my Instagram will also get one entry into the giveaway. If you place out an order with myself between now and midnight on Sunday the 13th of September, each order will get 5 entries into the draw. On Monday the 14th of September, I will then put everybody, every comment, every order into a random generator and a winner shall be picked. That winner will get the box of Sunshine Paper Pumpkin. To be eligible for that prize, you must live in the United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria or Germany, as they are the only locations that I can send Stampin' Up product to. 5 runners-up will also get a small gift from myself, and those will also be announced at the same time on Monday the 14th. So thank you everybody for joining me for the first of the event this evening. I will be back at the same time tomorrow with that lovely little box. And as always, the replay of this video will be available on YouTube tomorrow morning, alongside with the blog post of the description describing how to make them, the products used, including the links to purchase them from my online store. If in the meantime you have any queries, please don't hesitate to drop me a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you wish to craft along with me tomorrow, the products you will need a piece of cardstock that is 9 1/4 and 6 3/8. You will need a sheet of Whisper White. A piece of it will be 3 by 3, and the sentiment bit on the front will be 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. You can pick any colour you want, any sentiment you want, and any ribbon you want. I will be using the white crinkle seam binding, but you can craft along with me with whatever supplies you have at your hands. I will be using a scoring tool, but you can do that on a trimmer or however you wish to score. But until then, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.